KIDK Eyewitness News 3 continues.
A real tragedy is unfolding across Idaho. We have one of the highest rates of suicide by gun in the nation.
KIDK Eyewitness News 3 reporter Ariel Schroeder tells us about a new suicide prevention effort.
Idaho health officials report the state's 248 deaths by suicide as of August are similar to the rates of 2019. I talked to a loved one affected by suicide who shares his story and hopes to help others who may be suffering. Meet Adam Friedman. He's the one in the middle. To his right is his grandfather, who passed away in 2013.
Grandfather died by gun suicide when I was 13 years old. And to be perfectly frank, I didn't really understand or see a lot of the signs that folks normally look for.
Friedman lost his grandfather in the month of September and tells us this is an important time to check in with our loved ones.
What I'd say is it's important, especially right now during COVID, when we're all isolated and unsure about the future, to really check in with the folks you love.
Friedman is part of a campaign called End Family Fire. Advocates are coming together to help educate people on how they can fight suicide by firearms.
Just in general, regardless of what someone's going through, it's important to just have these kinds of conversations about suicide prevention and specifically the idea of family fire.
Friedman warns us to keep our guns stored, locked, unloaded, and separate from ammunition, especially in Idaho. Health experts say we are one of the top 4 states for the highest rates of suicide by gun. Friedman tells us those who are suffering from depression are not the only ones affected by suicide.
Now, as someone who's experienced that directly, what I can say is that the confusion and pain, especially as someone who did not know the extent of my grandfather's suffering, was there, it was palpable, and it was potent. There are tens of thousands of people who die by gun suicide every year, leaving behind hundreds of thousands of loved ones. So to understand what a loved one goes through is to recognize the sheer volume of people who have that experience.
If you or a loved one are affected by suicide, we will have resources on our website. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Ariel Schroeder.